And so any player would feel in quite a safe position here doing this activity. I'm going to work on the ball carrier is going to step that way just for the sake of this activity, and I'm going to work on hitting him in this area here and making sure that my cheek is really tight against his cheek. So it's really important that you get a tight grip, that whilst you're punching with your shoulder through the impact, you're also wrapping with your arms and getting a nice tight bind between your cheek and his cheek there. The other thing we're going to work on in this activity is the tackler landing on his front. That way you hold all the cards. If you can land on your front, it means you can get up quickly. You're the player, the tackler's the player that the referee is ruling. He's watching you, so therefore you've got to play within the law, which means getting up and then making your next decision in that tackle area. If you're on the deck as a tackler, you're liable to be penalised and you have no material effect on the game. You can't really do anything. Okay, so the drill will be simply this: on our knees, ball carrier, defender, tackler, landing up on top and then just getting up. What I'm going to do now is ask these boys to bring the stuff that we've been working on, the skills that we've been developing, bring it into a tackle situation. So we've got an activity that we're going to go through here. I'm just going to add a couple more things in that I want to demonstrate because we still haven't made the tackle yet. And as I said before, we want it to be safe as well as highly effective. So when we're doing this drill, we're going to be looking for several things. We're going to be looking for small steps into the tackle so that we can get that leading foot in close to the ball carrier. We're going to be looking for face up. Okay, and I use the term looking over the specs, so that as we drop into the tackle, the face is up. We're able to sight our ball carrier so that if he moves sideways, we can move with him, and we're in a safe position rather than getting caught with the head down. And thirdly, we're going to look for the players to drop from the knees late. So rather than go into a tackle like this and risk being beaten or risk getting caught in a poor position, we're going to use our tracking to get into position nice and close to the ball carrier, then dip late, face up, punch with the shoulder, wrap with the arms, cheek to cheek, and just drive through the tackle. So if I use Hugh here as an example, as he's coming in, he's going to be running here. I'm going to be coming in. I get my foot close, dip late, and push Hugh to the side. Okay, we'll just do that again. Into the tackle, dip late, face up, punch with the shoulder, wrap with the arms, and keep the feet moving through the impact. We're now going to take all those parts and put it into the hole. So we're going to complete the tackle. In this case, the tackle's not completed until we're up on our feet again after hitting the deck. So here the tackler's going to make a low tackle, land on his front, get up quickly over top of the ball carrier, and then make a decision. As I said before, you can't expect the ball carrier to just be a sitting duck for you to knock over. They're going to try and step you, use their explosiveness, try and hit a weak side of the tackler. So it's really important when you're doing these activities that you're randomising them, that you allow the ball carrier to step either way, and make it quite competitive so that he's trying to beat the tackler. That way you're really emphasising the need to be able to use either shoulder, and from a safety perspective, you've got to be able to do that. If you're just a right-sided tackler, for example, that's okay if you're going to your right, but it means when you're coming to your left and you're having to tackle the ball carrier, you're going to get in a poor position with your head in front of him. So head to the side, face up, make sure that you're able to see where the ball carrier is going. One thing I'm interested in, and I'll ask these guys the question, what they focus on when they're making the tackle, because the tackler's trying to use his feet, do his magic. If you're watching those, you're going to get bamboozled. So what does the tackler look at?
I like to focus on the core area, so the area above the hips, the stomach region.
Why? Why is that so important?
Because where the core goes, there you go. There
you have it, coaches. That's a great explanation, where the core goes. So the the stomach area slightly above the hips. In this drill here, it's slightly above the Adidas stripes on the shorts. That's where this player's focus is, because where that area goes as a ball carrier is where he wants to be to make the tackle. And that'll make it not only safe, but highly effective.
I'm feeling more confident now. All I have to do is remember these key coaching points. Eyes always on the core, whether tackling around the ball or around the legs, and move forward into contact. Try to position myself slightly inside the ball carrier, inside shoulder. Always keep my face up, keep my feet alive, and position my leading foot close to the ball carrier. Drive with the legs, making firm contact with the shoulder, and make sure I keep my head to the side and keep driving. Punch my arms forward and wrap around the ball carrier. Continue power drive through to complete the tackle and try to end up on top of the ball carrier. Release and get to my feet as fast as possible before I can recover the ball.
Today we're going to look at the post tackle and, more importantly, what we need to be able to do to be successful at maintaining the ball and using good techniques to keep ourselves safe and injury-free. So there'll be some little pointers at the end on the difficult areas where we are a little bit concerned about how we're shifting that guy that's over the ball. So I hope you enjoy the video and get some good coaching points out of it. Here we are, part one of our breakdown. We've posted the tackle, nice tackle's been made. Now we're looking to establish what comes next. Now we have a number of players, obviously, that will arrive at this breakdown, but what we're going to break down here and do is show you what happens with the first arrival player. So the first thing he needs to be doing is asking himself some questions. What have I got time and space to do? And in this case, we've got a defender well away from the ball. What have you got time and space to do?
Got time and space to get the pass away or take the ball and run.
Okay, now, how do you know you have that time and space?
By analysing from the scrum.
Okay, so you've come from the scrum, and what are you looking for?
Just looking for threats near the ball.
Looking for threats. Now we have a lot of problems with our young players and even our All Blacks at times. We want to ball watch. We want to be looking where the ball is, but that's where the threats are. The ball will stay where it is. It won't go away. So we've got to teach our players to look for the threats. And in this case, we're talking about, as soon as we've come from the scrum, we're anticipating where the tackle is going to be made, who's going to dominate the tackle, and where do I need to be at that point. And where is the opposition going to be at that point also. So in this case, we've made a decision 6 metres out that I've got time and space to pass the ball. So do I need to come in square on the ball?
No, not come in the angle so you can get that pass away.
Exactly, very good answer. Come from the angle and get the ball away. That also allows you to be able to pick it and run if you want to, or pick it and pop to another player. The second scenario is now we bring our defender in closer, we cut down our time and space to be able to do things. And then so, now what is our decision?
To clean out and take out the threat.
Okay, so now we're looking at removing a player away from the ball who's a threat. Obviously we're looking to do it legally. What are the key things we need to be looking at?
Low and taking the chest, or the space of the chest.
Okay, so if we're looking to get low, how do we get low?
Bending our knees.
Very good. We bend our knees rather than hinge at the back. Especially those big tall guys. You know, they like to bend at the waist rather than bending here at the knees. The key thing we want to do is we want to own the space underneath the defender and over the ball. So we look at that just quietly without taking him out, just come in and get in that position that we're looking for. So we're in a nice low position, we're underneath his shoulders, under this player here, over the ball, owning the space, what we call owning the space above the ball. Now obviously, he's in a nice strong driving position, he's just going to come straight through there, leg drive, and we have no threat to the ball, our halfback can come and play it. So part one's pretty easy. So just to end, part one, summarising it, make our decisions early, eyes up, not ball watching, eyes up, looking for the threat, owning the space above the ball and below the defender, and then using good leg drive to remove that player away from the scene. Key thing to remember too, make sure we come through the gate, otherwise we give away a silly penalty. So we've seen part one, here's part two. We're adding in the second support player, both from the defending side and the attacking side. So first question we ask, what's the role of support player two?
To support the first support player.
Great answer. Most people will tell me that they're going to come here and support the ball carrier, but this man's role is to support his first player who's taken out the first threat. So a top answer. So where are you going to make that decision?
I'm going to come from depth to make the decision from there.
Great answer again, because too many times we see players right at international level, right down to young schoolboys, getting too close, so they can't actually be effective. In fact, get into poor body positions and risk getting injured. So we've got our second support player coming from depth. What decisions is he going to make that are any different to our first support player?
I'm going to see if there's any threats to take out, and also to see if there's time and space to pass the ball away or pick and go.
And saying that, what he is repeating is what this man's already done. So we're going to keep it really simple. When you're coaching it, keep it simple. The jobs don't vary as long as we've got our players doing their right roles and right tasks. So as he's coming into this breakdown, he's got his eyes up, he's looking for our threat, and he's basing it on time and space. So we've just removed the first threat. Our second threat's there. We have no time and space to pass the ball. What is the key thing we've got to do with you now?